Oh, damn it. Of course, hello. Oh, damn it. Silent treatment, eh? Fair enough. Fuck off. Skeleton, huh? Silent treatment, eh? I can't believe it was
Oh,
muted.
hello.
Hello.
Silent treatment. What?
Oh, I've been here the entire time.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
How long have you been here for?
I've heard everything.
You heard my furious typing?
Yes, if that's what you want to call it. Typing. You know, I'm just hanging out. Waiting to see if my friend's gonna jump on chat. In the meantime, I'm on Discord.
Oh, welcome.
So what you doing?
Having a fight with my wife.
Oh.
But that's okay.
Is that why you called? Do you need counseling?
No.
Oh, so then you think you have everything under control, do you?
No. I definitely don't. No, Alex is at work and I just told her that I booked in for an appointment with one of these clinics.
Ah.
She's been wanting to get her wisdom teeth pulled, and at the time when she went to get the scans done on her mouth, we'd just gotten her health cover, and luckily general dental was covered, so the checkup was covered, but major dental isn't until 12 months, and so we had a conversation about whether we would want to just pay out of pocket to get her wisdom teeth pulled,
Oh,
or
wait.
if we wanted to wait, and if we did want to wait, like whether we would just start saving money for it anyway, and if we had enough money, then just get it to do it. Anyway, at the time we were paying for the cruise that my dad's been on, and
Yeah.
we've since paid that off, right? So I messaged
Oh,
Alex
that's good.
just before and said, like I've just booked myself in. I had to pay $90 to cover the consult. She's like, well, is any of it going to be covered under our healthcare? And I said, yes, like anything that's not on the PBS for medication that doesn't have like a reduction in the price from the government is covered. And she goes, she just flew off the handle, being like, well, you thinking about your needs all the time. I'm in pain too, rah, rah, rah. And I'm like, we haven't fucking discussed it since our initial conversation. You haven't once said to me, can we put some money at, like, I'm getting in trouble for not reading her brain.
Oh, look, you gotta be psychic, alright?
And she, like, I just got a message and it said, just reminding you that I'm also in pain, but was told I couldn't do anything until our health fund covered it. Not what I. And then she said, my needs are always pushed to the side, but when it comes to you, your needs are always addressed. And I said, Thank you for
Correct.
the
No.
passive aggressive reminder. No, I just basically pointed out to her that, like, if I have an issue, my brain goes to, how can I fix this?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, she'll bring it up once, we'll have a conversation that requires follow up, and then when I just don't magically remember or don't pick up in her brain that she's thinking about it again, then I get in trouble. And I'm like, you kind of have to remind me, like,
Nah, you should just keep a diary or something. Or a notepad.
I shouldn't have to. I should just have a wife that's comfortable with saying, by the way, can we look at doing my teeth sometime soon? And I'd say, yeah, that's fine. We can save a couple $100 every week and we'll have the money in no time.
No, I want it done now. I mean, like, if I don't know, honestly, I feel like it depends as well what the dentist says. If they say it's urgent and stuff like that, then you know. But I feel like the case with the wisdom teeth is they're always like, of course, it's always sooner rather than later, but you know, it's never really a priority. Like, it's not.
Well, I saw a meme. Oh, I think I might have even sent it to you guys where it was like my parents and it's like, hey, let's buy a house at 30. And then me, it's like, hey, can't afford to have kids.
Yeah, I saw that. You sent that. Yeah. I can't even afford teeth, or it's something like, yeah, like I guess I can't afford teeth.
Yeah. So,
No
and
teeth for you.
like I get what she's saying, but I don't think it's my fault. Like I empathize with her for being in pain, and I understand that it's a problem, but at the same time, and I know I should know this by now after being with someone for so long, that there should never ever be a but at the end of my sentence now.
But
But like it's not my job to remember things that she's told me in passing like months ago and then never brought up again. Like, to put it into comparison, she is like if somebody was in her position, the amount of times every week you would hear about my fucking back hurting is like through the roof. Yet I have not once had her teeth mentioned to me in that period of time since we had the conversation,
that's
which
like,
is
this
why
is the
I'm
first
like,
time I'm hearing about this.
well, I said to her, this is the first time I'm hearing about it since we had our conversation like 6 weeks ago. What the fuck? Like, it's not my problem,
You just
apparently.
table it. It's not
And I
my
was
problem.
also actually more pissed off because the way she brought it up was very passive aggressive. Like, instead of saying, hey, since you're doing this, can we put money aside for my teeth? To which I would have said, no fucking worries.
No,
Because this
no
is.
way.
But, no fucking way. No. It's just a bit bullshit.
Nah, it makes sense. Look, your fault. You should have had health insurance ages ago. Then this wouldn't.
Yeah.
You should have foresaw this.
And the problem is, right, because I looked up what the estimated cost of the prescriptions was, and most of them break it down over and it's a weird way to do it, but because you don't know initially how much you will be prescribed and whether it will be enough or not enough, kind of thing. So, um,
Excess.
they basically
Ow.
say over the first 3 months you can expect to spend around $300, be that all at once
Oof.
or broken up. Well, for 3 months of medication though, like if you think about 3 months worth of medication is quite a lot. So for me, I was like, that's $100 a month. If it even works a little bit, then that's better than what I'm paying at the moment to keep going and getting this fucking shit that the doctor's giving me.
Yeah.
So
No, it makes
anyway,
sense.
and I was like, that's over a 3 month period. I'm not just gonna fork that out all at once. Some people opt to be like, well, I'll just take a whole thing all at once.
Just
But I
take all
won't do
my
that.
money. Yeah.
So, and she's like, well, you're gonna fork out $300. I'm like, I'm not forking it all out at once. This is the issue we're talking about. So anyway, it is what it is.
What can you do? You're stuck. You got yourself
Exactly
into
right.
this.
I did by being into a woman.
That's okay. Alex has to get his wisdom as well. But I think
I, and
it's gonna cost a lot more.
I have no doubt that my teeth need doing as well, but I'm too scared of the dentist now after having gone back after 10 or so years and then having an even worse experience.
I mean, I don't think anyone goes to the dentist and enjoys it and has fun.
I will
Except
say
for
though,
the cleaning part at the end.
sitting there being like, I'm here for a checkup, can you please check my teeth? And then all of a sudden just having the dentist start numbing my mouth with no warning whatsoever and not telling me that he's put a feeling in until the end is pretty terrifying for a first experience back at the dentist after 10
Surprise
years.
filling, is that even illegal? I feel like they're supposed to tell you. That shit.
Well, he didn't tell me. He told me there was a hole. He was like, I found like a hole
So
or
I
a
filled
cavity,
it.
like, well, no, initially, like, he checked my mouth and did all the little checkup things that they do, and then he was like, oh, okay, so we found a hole, it's here, and he tapped it with the thing, and I was like, yes, that's where it hurts. He said, okay, cool, lie back. And I'm like, okay, assuming, like, he was going to do some more checks or whatever. And no, and then just, like, because, you know, you can't really see what they're doing, and all of a sudden I feel a, like, really hard prick in my mouth, and all of a sudden my face is going tingly, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening now? So
I don't think there was a lot of consent going on here. I feel like they're
there
supposed to
wasn't any
tell you.
consent. There was no consent. That's my problem.
Are you sure you
I
didn't
like,
accidentally consent?
yeah, I accidentally consented. Well,
He was just like saying something and you didn't understand it, so you
I thought
just
he
said
said, "How's your
yes.
day going?" And instead he said,
Can I numb you and do a root
"Can
canal now?
we
Yes.
put
Oh,
the
okay.
feeling? Can we get the feeling going or something?"
I misread the entire situation. Yeah, I don't, I think you just got a bad, I feel like I've never had anything that, you know, usually they're supposed to tell you as they go, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna do this now, or I'm gonna do that now.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, you think correct, yes, they're supposed to do that. I don't know what backwater dentist you went to.
There's only, I think we had this conversation. There's only two in town, and I went to one of them.
The wrong one?
I went to one of them. Apparently, the wrong one.
Well, you just, here's what you do. Every time you're, in like Sydney or just, you know, somewhere in a more populated area, like, you know, maybe for a family van or whatever, blah, 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 you get your dental
Go
work
to a
done
dentist.
as well.
Yeah. And then get charged through the arse for fucking dental work.
Hey, at least they'll tell you what you're doing or what they're doing, rather than like surprise.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just my headset up.
Getting dental
Ugh.
work done.
Yeah, it's annoying because that tooth is still like it's nowhere near as painful as it was, but it's still I still think there's something going on with it. It still hurts every now and then.
Look, as bad as the dentist is, and like it's pretty bad getting wisdom teeth taken out. It's better than dealing with like if it's like pain or it's like going through the gum line or something like that.
Yeah, so this on my jaw, it was on my tooth. It was shooting down through the tooth and then along the jaw every time I would chew with that tooth. Which is why I was like, I really need to go to the dentist because I haven't had an issue like that in a very long time. And I was like, this is very uncomfortable and it's getting worse.
Sounds like wisdom to me.
Mine wasn't wisdom teeth. He did an x-ray and everything.
But he probably mentioned that in the near future.
Well, I don't have wisdom.
You don't need wisdom.
Yeah. You want to play something? Or...
What are you playing?
I'm not playing anything. I'm just staring at my computer.
Oh,
I was actually listening to Spotify when you jumped in, which is why I may not have said anything.
oh, that's fine. You can listen to Spotify. Who listens to Spotify and Discord at the same time?
Well, I had myself in Discord for like the last 3 hours, and then nothing happened. And so I was like, well, I might as well listen to some music while I'm do some stuff on the computer, and then now I'm here.
What you doing on the
My
computer?
headset might cut out in a sec.
That's fine.
The kitchen.
If it cuts out, I'm leaving.
No. Did you cut out yet? Feel like you're still there.
I mean, you can't really tell that for sure.
Well, I mean, you responded to what I said.
Huh? I was talking to someone else.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Don't call me Shirley.
Surely you can't be serious.
Surely. Where?
Oh, that feels good.
Do I want to know?
It's my back
And your neck.
and my pussy and my crack.
You know, these things happen with older age. Ow.
Well, I feel like old age wasn't the cause, you know?
Are you sure?
Well, I mean, I feel like tumbling off my fucking snowboard at like 65 kilometers an hour, landing on my back is what did it, not age.
Yeah, but surely the age thing is somewhat of a contributor.
Yeah, but you said that comes with old age. Had I have not done that, I wouldn't have a slipped disc and I wouldn't be in so much pain.
Well, I'm sure if you'd done that as a young fellow, then you would just bounce right back.
I did something similar as a young fellow. I
And
was
you
about
were
23.
completely fine.
Well, I
for-
wasn't fine. I had a similar amount of discomfort, but the discomfort dissipated and pretty much became non-existent
And
after about 4 weeks of
fixed
physio
itself.
and movement and stretching and putting heat pack on it and all that kind of stuff. And now, 3 months later, no improvement.
Back at it again with those. You just put some heat rub on it.
Oh God, trust me, I can't get enough of heat rub. If I could just inject the heat rub into my back, that would be perfect.
I don't think that's how that works. I'm pretty sure that's probably lethal, but you know, whatever you gotta do.
Good.
Whatever keeps you functioning at optimum level.
I will say the process of getting into a clinic for something like medicinal cannabis is pretty fucking sketch. Well,
What do
it's
you
not
mean?
sketch, but so they basically have these clinics that are set up with doctors that that specialize in like
Pain.
medicinal cannabis. And so like the idea is that you sign up to one of these clinics, you do a telehealth consult with one of these doctors that prescribe medicinal cannabis, and they go, oh yep, sounds like your problem can be solved with medicinal cannabis, here's a script. And then they give you a list of options of where to cash the script in online, and then you get it sent to you.
This sounds like a normal process, yes. I don't see anything sus about
It's
this.
kind of like going to your doctor and being like, I'm here because I want Valium. Can I have Valium? And they're like, yeah, you can have Valium, and then they just give it to you. As opposed to, I think you should, I don't know, it is legit, but it also feels a little not legit.
I mean,
It
do you
feels like
not...
a tailored thing,
So-
like instead of, you know what I mean? Like they're all set up specifically for that.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta go to the doctor for some loving, that's all, you know?
And drugs.
That's what I meant.
By the way, unrelated, I'm going to start making a lot of money really soon.
Are you doing drugs?
It's got nothing to do with my drugs. It's just me selling my drugs. No.
Is it your Switch? Have you sold it so many times that you've
Oh,
made some sort of a
actually,
profit?
it's really weird. The bidding on that took off this afternoon. I guess it's a Sunday afternoon, but still. It's
It's
for $410.
Probably a bunch
Isn't
of
that close
kids.
to retail?
This seems like a trap if ever I've seen one. Are you sure these people are legit?
OLED Switch. Oh, they go for about 500. Okay, that's still a bit of a discount.
Used?
I did have no new.
Is it new? It's not new, is it?
Well, mine hasn't been used. It's been
Oh.
used once.
Alright. Is that what you're marketing it as? Is that why people are interested?
Well, I had a few people ask me when it was purchased, so I like
Lied,
looked up the
as you do.
receipt and lied.
And forged the receipt of a recent date.
But I'm also selling it with Pokemon Sword
Trash.
and a
Next.
case. And it's got a screen protector on it and all that kind of stuff. And it's the OLED model, which is more expensive than the regular model. So,
It's true. Yeah, I think if decent condition, you could definitely. People are
yeah, well, it
interested.
literally has barely been used. Like, we've just been using Alex's for stuff, which is why I was like, why did we get to? Because at first I was like, oh, I'll just create another profile and play a different Animal Crossing, but you can't have two profiles in Animal Crossing
Rip.
on the one console. So then I was like, no, I need my own. And then I got my own and never used it,
As you do.
as
Just,
is tradition.
just make sure to, maybe take photos or package it when you send it out. Just so it's legit. So they don't send it back or they complain that it was broken or whatever.
Look, I got to get as far as having people actually pay for it first. So
But yeah, that's one hurdle. The next hurdle is having them keep it and then they don't fucking, try to swindle you out of Switch.
why would they swindle me out of a Switch?
What do you mean? They're just like, oh, it doesn't work or something, and then they get a free Switch.
How?
Complain to eBay.
They can complain to eBay all they want. I'm not giving them their money back.
No, I think it used to be a lot worse for sellers because the buyers had more protection, so they could pretty much just like I think people
Just
doing a lot of
claim.
chargebacks and they were complaining and stuff to get their money back, but then like most of the time keeping the item as well.
Right, right.
But to be fair, I think you should be good. The only issues we've had is like people will complain it doesn't work, but then they'll have to either send proof and we try to troubleshoot it with them, or they send it back and then we check it on our end. Um, and like worst
And
comes to worst,
if you've got a legitimate issue, like most people, if
yeah,
it
but
is
people like to make
legitimately
shit
not.
up.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. If you legitimately buy, like, if you buy something and it legit doesn't work, and the option is okay, send it back and we'll see if we can fix it, or if it's not, like, we'll issue you a refund or whatever the case is. Like, most reasonable people, if that is the real thing that has gone down, will be like, yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah, but
But
as you've
it's the
seen,
dodgy cunts who are like,
most of
no,
the
I
people on
can't do
eBay
that.
are unreasonable.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Nah, look, I think you
Like,
honestly, I think you should be fine with selling it, cause
it's fucking better. Do you want to know what really concerned me though? I thought I had turned it on, but I clearly mustn't have because when I look at the listing, I'll go back to it. Have a look at it now. Like all these people with all this all this feedback, like decent amount of feedback, like bidding and bidding and bidding and bidding, and then the most recent bid that came through just recently, some dude with like 0.
feedback.
Yep. I was like, motherfucker.
Look, I feel like majority of the time, no, I feel like all of the time, um, they, uh, the people with zero feedback
What you
on,
cut out then for a second? I was like, oh god.
no, I was trying to type something. Oh shit. The majority of people that are zero feedback aren't legit. I feel like like all of the people on eBay would have some feedback. Like there's not that many. I feel like there's no new users really. Like out of this, all the stuff we've sold, like
Yeah, because even if you're buying something, like if
yeah,
even if you've only just buying stuff, you still get feedback for that.
oh yeah, even like the buying like the scammers, even they make an attempt to buy like some cheap shit to make their account look more legitimate.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, good luck to you. Even if they return it or whatever. I think you still get your postage and stuff back. So you're just basically back to square one with selling it if anything does
Which would
happen.
drive me nuts.
Nah, but look, you'd rather have it back and not be, out of pocket and out of device.
Yeah.
Assuming they send it back in one piece or, you know.
Or in multiple pieces.
Well, then like that's on them though. That's not on you. I feel like at that point eBay would have to refund you if it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if they send it back and it is like different condition to what you sent them. I don't know. There's a lot of like I've spent like many a time talking to customer service people on eBay about customers and stuff. But like, most of the time they are very helpful though, and like there is a good resolution for me. Like they'll remove
The
feedback
few
or
times
they'll
I've had
refund.
to, yeah. Sorry to cut you off.
No, no.
I was just gonna say that the few times I've reached out to them over the past couple of weeks have actually been pretty speedy to get on top of helping me with stuff.
It also
It's
does help
frustrating
if
because,
you're a veteran eBay account as well.
well, my eBay account has been active for like almost 10 years. Because I remember when I reached out to them the other day, the guy was like, I'm such and such. I'll be helping you today. Let me start off by saying thank you for being a loyal eBay member for 10 years or something like that.
Oh yeah, I get that every time.
I was like, I don't know, I got status with eBay then, huh? Yeah, I know it's probably just standard, but
It's still something. I think they, it's more than
it probably
just having a.
goes a little way, like.
It makes you feel good. They,
It
they,
does. It's
they
not
make you
like
feel
I'm
good.
opting to use it because I like their brand. It's because I need to sell my shit.
And
Instead of just
there's
like
no other
chucking stuff
option.
out when, like, instead of just going like, oh, this has been sitting here for years, I never use it, I'm just gonna chuck it out. I can just sell it and make even just a little bit of money off it. Recoup some of that money.
Look, I hope it goes well for you and your $4 million. How much did you buy it for? Did you buy it for full retail or did you get it on special or something?
The Switch, yeah, I bought it for full retail. It was right during that period of time when we were coming out of lockdowns and stuff, where in the lockdowns things were really hard to get a hold of, and then after the lockdowns ended, things would like come into stock and then go out of stock, and then be out of stock for weeks and then come back in stock.
Yeah, it's just like the
And
PlayStation
the
and/or
Switch was like
Xbox.
that even. Like when I went to look for it, it was hard to get a Switch because people, I don't know, people were just going crazy for Nintendo games while they were all in lockdown, so it was really hard to get them.
Oh yeah, I guess I was trying to think of a reason as to why, because I don't think I've ever seen that with like the normal Nintendo Wii or like
No,
the what's the other one?
the
Wii
Wii U,
U. I
which
was
is
gonna.
such a weird, yeah, weird console.
Hey, I mean it works. People like it. It
Does it though?
sells. I'm pretty sure everyone owned a Wii at some point.
I never owned a Wii U.
Oh yeah, that's a step up there. That's the different sort of
I think I
level.
owned a Wii. But still, at the time, I was like, this is fun, but I don't know if I can commit to this as a full-time gaming experience.
Well, I think it was more of like a family or like a friend sort
Yeah,
of
for me, it was a
LAN type
novelty. It was like,
thing.
oh, let's whack out the Wii first and play some bowling before we do anything else. And then
Yeah,
you do
look,
that for
I
like
think that's what
30
it
minutes, and
was
then you go,
for.
all right, let's play something else.
I think yeah, like if you have like guests over or friends over, it's just something easy to kind of just jump into. Fun for the whole family.
Sell me a Wii, Marvin.
I did. That was it. That was the selling point. Did I sell you? You want to buy one now?
I'm selling one. Are you in the market?
No. In the market of
Oh,
what? I'm about to lock
a-
down a
any
Switch though
market?
for like
You're
400 or
about to.
so.
You're like, I'm about to scam some poor eBay guy out of a Switch though.
I'm about to cancel on some poor eBay guy.
No.
Hey, what's your eBay account name?
I'm not telling.
Why not?
No, that's what
I'll
it's
give you a
called.
good review.
No, that's what it's called. I'm not telling.
Oh, okay. I'll leave you good feedback, and
Please give good feedback.
you get
Did I
uh
tell you about one of the guys who I told him that like I didn't know at the time that they'd changed it because previously you could leave negative feedback for non-payment and stuff, and I like had responded to him, this buyer that
yeah, I don't know why they
fell
removed that.
through.
It's such a
Yeah,
bad.
because it would be really good. Like you'd log onto someone's page if you were gonna buy something from them, and it'd say, this person isn't trustworthy because they didn't pay for their item, blah blah blah, and you're like, oh sweet, I'm not gonna deal with them. But now they removed it.
Yeah, I really don't see a positive side to removing it. Like I really don't understand.
But I didn't know that they'd removed that function, and I was communicating with this buyer that bailed on the sale, and I was like, "That's fine. I'm not canceling your order. I'm gonna hit you with some negative feedback, and you'll just have to deal with it." And he was like, "Oh, what the fuck? No, negative feedback. That's bullshit." Like, I was like, "Dude, you can't complain.
I
You
mean, he,
did the
he can,
thing.
but he can't do anything about it. You did the thing.
You did the thing. Now
Uh,
you take the consequences."
There are consequences for your actions. Yeah, well now it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's just the internet in general. It's like, well, I think Facebook, right? They removed dislikes and YouTube and whatever. Like, I feel like that's just the way things are heading.
Mm.
No one can handle negative
Yeah, what the
criticism.
fuck? It's so weird
But you
with getting a
kind of need it
dislike.
for an e-commerce site. Otherwise, how? I don't understand how you're supposed to judge. Like,
You
you
look
have,
at the scummiest of scummy fucking apps, right?
yeah,
Uber is considered a scummy company, and you can
yeah,
still down vote people for being bad rides or bad drivers.
yeah. That's like,
So like,
you gotta
if
behave.
Uber keeps that, like, why the fuck don't? It just doesn't
Everyone
make any sense.
else.
I guess sometimes people abuse it, but like, you spend as much time moderating that as you would moderating a community where you can't give a thumbs down or a negative review.
To be fair though, it's not great on the sellers because sometimes the customers do abuse the negative feedback thing. Like I've had a couple of those where they just complain for the sake of complaining, and I've had
Yeah,
to
they're
go
like,
through.
everything went fine and I got my item, but it wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah, like I don't know, it was as described, but apparently it's not good enough, or I don't know, it just
I hate when people change their mind after the fact and don't qualify for an exchange and then give bad review. Oh, that shits me. Because it's like your review shouldn't be on the fact that your dumb ass and your dumb fucking brain can't work out that you don't fit within the policy for an
Oh
exchange.
yeah, yeah. I feel
Like,
like most of the complaints are like that. It's based on like a mistake that they've made, nothing to do with the seller or anything.
typical example I see of it all the time is where people will go for like, I don't know, a certain percentage off sale into like a store or something, and then they'll grab something from the rack that's like marked down, no further reduction kind of thing, and they'll complain that they didn't get the extra discount on their discount, and it's like, you can never fucking do that, you dumbass.
Uh, but they'll still complain about it. And then they'll leave
Yeah,
negative
sure.
feedback. Shit.
Well, I'll leave negative feedback to myself then.
I feel like they should bring it back there. Like so many times I want to leave negative feedback on a customer's page or something like that.
When they stopped using PayPal, that was weird. They don't use PayPal anymore.
Yeah, I know.
They accept PayPal as a form
Yes,
of
they do,
payment.
but they don't go
But
through
they don't pay their
PayPal.
seller. Yeah, they don't pay the sellers in PayPal now. Now you just get like a scheduled bank transfer. It's super fucking weird.
Yeah, but it's so that they don't have to pay fees to PayPal.
Yeah, but there was a period of time where eBay and PayPal were
Yeah, I know, but now they're not, so they have
the
to
same company.
make their own bank. Like I remember seeing the email about them switching from PayPal, which is fine. I think them distancing themselves from PayPal is also a good thing because then, you don't get people doing like this chargeback shit. I think they did mention that in like like part of the reasoning or something like that. They're like, "Oh, we have more control to stop users
Yeah,
from doing that sort of thing,"
yeah.
which is good, helpful for the buyer, seller.
Buyer, seller, same thing,
Because
different
we did,
smiles.
I think maybe it was a little bit before I started at my company, but they had an issue with like a couple people doing that. They would like buy something and then they'd like do the PayPal chargeback shit, and we would be out of item and money.
Right. So you're basically just getting scammed.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, It's just a scam. And you're
That's shit.
like how's that? You know, imagine if you're like a small seller, it'd be even worse because you just like lose your Switch just for no
Yeah,
reason,
pretty much.
and you're out of pocket.
I mean, I don't want the Switch to begin with, but I'm not giving it away for free.
Yeah, you gotta make not profit. Maybe you could make a profit. Imagine that.
What's the return on it? Can you imagine if I made profit?
It'd be funny.
It'd be super weird. Oh my god, I can fly to Canada from Sydney via the Philippines for $1,000. I don't know if that extra travel time is worth the savings.
I don't think it is,
No, neither do I. You
but
got me there.
it's worth a shot to find out. Possibly.
No, I
No?
don't think so.
Fair enough. I tried.
Fly via Hong Kong, that's a 32-hour flight with a layover.
But the
So,
power is yours.
you know, it's really hard to plan for a holiday when the flights aren't out yet, like the dates. You can't look at the dates yet.
You just gotta guesstimate and hope for the best.
Yeah, but it's hard because like you'll look at dates. Like I can look as far as October, but I want to look at November next year. But then I can't look at November because like between say September and November, like that's essentially a change of season over in the other hemisphere of the world.
Yeah, things could change.
Which means a change of like what's classified as peak and not peak tourist season. So then the prices are different. So it's like I can kind of guesstimate, but I also can't.
Yeah, all you can do is like guess as close as possible, and you can't really get an exact.
Yeah.
Just overestimate, and then save. Maybe if you sell your Switch, I feel like I
Well, I'm
could
trying to sell my Switch.
definitely make bank if I kept like all that shit from way back, like all the
What do you mean?
older, like all the OG stuff. Like I'm sure that you sell like
Like if
your
I had my Nintendo 64.
Nintendo 64, that
Oh
sort
my
of thing.
god. I used to. Makes me sad.
I used to sell those. That's what make
No,
you
I
sad
mean,
for.
I had a fucking really good Nintendo 64.
Same.
It's just gone.
She's gone, de Leon. No, I did have a lot of luck selling a you know, like a Digivice, like a Digimon,
Oh yeah.
one of those a while back for like quite a few hundred, like a lot more,
Oh,
a
wow.
lot more than it was worth back in
I actually
the day.
had similar luck than like as what you described with on the off occasion I rarely ever bought them because I didn't really understand, but once or twice I'd walked into like an EB Games or a Zing Pop Culture or
As you do.
whatever the stores that used to sell them before those were mainstream, that kind of stuff. Then I used to grab, I had maybe a collection of like 5 or 6 of these little pop vinyls. You know, the little figures?
Like the Funko Pops?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was like thinking,
And
is it some old thing?
no,
okay.
but like, you know, before Zing Pop Culture was a thing, like, I don't remember where you used to get them from. They just used to pop up in random
Sanity?
stores from time to time. Yeah, maybe Sanity, actually. But anyway, I just had maybe 5 or 6 of these, and at least 2 of them were like worth $500 to $600.
Damn.
Just because, like, I can't even remember what was special about them. It was just like a character, and not even a popular character from a show that, for whatever reason, the production on that one was really short, and I just put them on eBay for retail, like for what I paid for it, thinking, well, I actually put them up for like $10. These are worth nothing. I did no research.
Jesus.
And then all of a sudden, it's going like fucking, you know, $100, $150, $200. I'm like, what the fuck?
Should have done your
Good thing I didn't open
research.
it.
Oh.
And I didn't open it because,
Uh,
like, I never even so much as displayed them because I bought them and then I went, well, that was a dumb waste of money. And I put them in a box and then they sat in, like, the spare room for, like, 5 years.
Hey, that's like a good accidental planning and
Yeah,
not being dumb and opening it.
pretty much.
So did you end up selling him?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I just put them on eBay and let them sell, and I was like, huh, okay, cool.
I'm rich. And then you use the money to buy a Switch. What a...
Pretty much. And now I'm in the hole again for a Switch.
To be fair though, it's kind of hard to predict how much that sort of stuff is going to go up in value. Or like, you
What, the
can't...
Switch or the...
Oh, just like anything in general, really. Like stuff that you just buy for cheap, but then it will suddenly skyrocket in value.
I do hear a lot about people who go to, like, the local salvo stores and buy, like,
Stuff from there.
shirts and boots and stuff for, like, fucking $3 a pop and then chuck them on eBay for, like, 20 bucks each or something. And there's at least one person I know who's local to here who makes a pretty decent living off just doing that, but it does sound like a lot of effort.
Is that your plan?
No,
Ah.
it's not. People
Oh,
do that with Marketplace too. Like, they'll just keep an eye on Marketplace for random shit that people just want to get rid of.
I look at the free shit. Does that count?
Yeah, all the free stuff, and then, like, some people will just buy it, get it free or whatever, and then chuck it on eBay for a ridiculously low price comparative
Twice
to
as much.
everything else on sale, and then they'll make some money off it. But then I go again, like, that's so much effort. Probably not really, but still.
No, I think it is effort. Because you gotta actually, like, monitor all that shit.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a lot of effort.
And I don't know how to make anything worth selling, so, like, I can't run an Etsy store.
Mm,
Don't know what people would want to buy.
things.
I did at one point look into I looked into seeing if you could set up a GoFundMe just for whatever.
Go fund me.
I was just gonna start a GoFundMe being like, help me save some money. And see if anyone donated.
It's very ambitious. Would that even work?
I don't know, that's why I didn't know if there was like requirements, like if you had to have a cause or if it could just be anything.
Wait, but did you actually do it or no?
No, I didn't start it because I wasn't sure.
What the requirements were? Oh,
Yeah, if you
shit.
could just be like, I want to buy a house, help me save for it.
Holy. I feel like people would join. Just for the lols.
Yeah, if we could make it viral, that'd be awesome.
It's the only good type of viral.
Aside from infection.
Oh, yeah, of course you gotta have that viral infection for some reason. No, but like you see people that do that. Like they start like the GoFundMe just for like random stuff. And they make bank, I feel like, most of the time.
I do wish that we got taught in high school more about the value of like you being the service. If that makes sense.
And being a valuable
Well, I feel like like so many of the people who opted to go to TAFE instead of stay in school were frowned upon by like the teachers and everybody else who decided to stay in school. Whereas like part of me goes, man, if somebody had have told me the value of me being the service, like, you know, being a Sparky or a fucking tradie of some kind,
yeah.
you'd be in such a better position now, having, you know, years of experience potentially running your own business,
Oh no,
being
that's
your
true.
own boss. And I just kind of get really frustrated that nobody took the time to like explain the value of that when we were in school, because it was very much looked down upon. Like, I tell kids that I work with all the time who go, oh, maybe we'll go to TAFE, but, you know, only dumb cunts go to TAFE. And I'm like, oh, Mate, trust me.
Mate, you
I
are
said to my mum the
correct.
other
No.
day, like, I said to him, school's not for everyone, and if I was educated better on the value behind doing something like an apprenticeship, I probably, looking back on it, should have done something like that.
It's
Not
not too
saying that
late.
it would have, that it would have been my chosen career path, but like to have that to fall back on would be awesome.
Oh, cock.
'Cause, now if I can't find a job, I just don't have any skills.
I don't have many skills, or any skills for that
I have
matter.
this expensive bit of paper that means fucking nothing.
Ah,
That I was-
cock. Everyone's a cock.
What are you doing?
Oh, dying, that's for sure.
What are you playing?
Fucking Valheim, I hate this stupid game.
Ah. So I was like, what the fuck?
Nothing. Anyway, tell me your problems. Uh,
You're like, oh, my problems consist of this game. And me, I'm like, I'm having an existential
I'm having
crisis.
real life issues. Look, sometimes your accidental crisis is the small picture. Sometimes the game is the big picture
What's the big picture again?
of games.
Um, you know what's concerning? The fact that it's difficult to disprove that we're in a simulation.
What do you mean? Yeah, you can. You just jump out nowhere.
What? What?
There are ways to escape the simulation.
No.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
Well, I watched a video. Have you ever
Yeah,
seen
watching.
Have you ever heard of Richard Dawkins?
The name sounds familiar. Watching
He's just like
conspiracy
a
theorists
scientist.
again.
He's a scientist dude, and like, um, he's an avid atheist. But that's sort of beside the point. It's a video that I watched, but he was just discussing with another scientist about a third scientist's theory about disproving if we're in a simulation or not, and that it would be really difficult. Like the fundamentals of trying to disprove a theory like that are inherently difficult.
Yeah,
Um,
but they did it. They just
well, no, the conclusion was that it's almost so
impossible
difficult that you
to
can't
disprove.
because of what you need to be able to prove to disprove that we're in it. If that makes sense. So it's almost like a bit of a paradox, but
My head
not
exploded.
quite. Well, because the argument was that like any new information, if you're in a simulation, like all the information that we will ever know is already pre-built into the simulation, and we just get it. That's, the theory was that that humankind becomes so evolved and so technologically advanced that they create a simulation of their past to store record, basically. And so all the information about anything that will happen or has happened is already in the simulation, which is why it's really hard to disprove that you're in a simulation.
Are you saying we're living in like a library of past and or present?
I don't know why anyone would want to record my bullshit. No, I just was like, oh man, I'm not ready for this, and then I heard it anyway, and I was like,
I'm sure there's. I mean, look, Neo got out of the Matrix, so I don't see why we can't. Maybe you're the chosen one,
for what? To be a shit cunt?
and that's what'll get you out of the simulation.
True.
Maybe your airplane simulator is a
Oh,
simulation.
it's in the title.
And then you're playing a simulator while you're in a simulator.
Yes.
But what would be the point of the simulation, though?
Well, I mean, you say that, but we have many simulator games that are based off real life.
But do you think the people in the simulation video games know that they're a simulation?
Well, not yet, but if we were to get to a point where that were possible,
And
I'm
they were
very,
sentient? Mm,
I'm very sure that that's like, I mean, sentient. When you're getting to that level of discussion, sentient is like a concept that is debatable as to like what you
self-aware.
mean by that. Because like if you even think about The Sims, right? Like they're not sentient, but
What? But they make all their own
glibbity glibber,
decisions sometimes, and they
glibbity
do
globbity glib.
dumb stuff.
But that's a very rudimentary
Yeah.
example. Like if you're thinking like thousands of years in the future with computing technology, that's not out of the realm of possibility that
Think
you
how
could
good The
have
Sims will be.
a game character that thinks for itself and makes its own decisions and has an existential crisis to that being a game character.
You
It
mean
needs
like
to go
what?
on
Like right
medication.
now?
Yeah, like me.
Yeah, but I'm sure there would be stuff in place to.
Pretty much right. Like just using that as an example, what has
Uh,
happened in this simulation is that the person in control of the simulation has noticed that my character was increasingly bored at home, and they've instructed me. They've purchased me a computer, and I had to get all the parts and put it together, like on The Sims, where they get everything and they go, and then bam, poof, it's there.
is that how you got it?
And now I'm sitting on my computer.
I mean, whoever's in charge of your Sims, are they doing a good job or a bad job?
A horrific job. It's typical mismanagement of funds,
Maybe it's their first time.
and they
Don't,
haven't used the infinite money cheat code. I'll tell you that much.
don't worry, I'm sure they'll do better with the next person that they do. Not you, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was gonna say not me though.
Never, never you. Mischief managed. Yeah, sometimes I have those thoughts, but then, you know, reality hits you
I
hard
actually
for.
have, I actually have the bigger, more daunting thoughts where like I'll just be doing something random and remember that like one day I will die and cease to exist.
It's always a good thought to have.
And then it's like, oh god, there'll literally be nothing, and I'm gonna experience that.
That's why you need to build like a massive monument.
Like a giant robot of myself that screams, "Remember me."
Remember me and breathes fire.
Yep.
I definitely think it's worth building a massive monument.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not religious, so I don't believe anything happens. I just believe that you cease to exist.
And you leave a
I'll be
very
pleasantly surprised if that's not the case, but so far I'm not sold.
big bloated corpse.
Why bloated?
I don't know. Isn't that what corpses do?
Couldn't I deflate, maybe?
Maybe if you
Why do
died
I
on
have
like
to
a
be obese
pincushion.
even in death?
Even in death, I'm
I'm just a
bloated.
little dead and bloated, okay? It's not extra weight.
It's just water weight.
Probably is though, all the fluids escaping and stuff.
That's just the gas escaping from the dead.
Woo! Woo!
But he's been cheering for hours.
Woo!
It's a very realistic episode. Really
There's
brings
a lot of underrated
perspective.
jokes in Futurama.
Underrated? Oh,
Like underrated, like completely missed sort of thing. Like they're just one-liners that just go straight past most people.
how could you possibly miss them? I was waiting for an example.
I'm looking for an example.
I understand every joke that they make. Nothing escapes
There's
my
one where
gaze.
they're like where Zap and Leela go on a
Expedition.
No, Zach Brannigan and Leela go on a date in like a
Restaurant.
restaurant that's out in space. It's like spinning, and then something happens, and he takes control of it to try and fly it to show off. And he says, the quote is, "She's built like a steakhouse, but
But
she
she
handles
handles
like
like
a
a
bistro."
bistro. That's a classic line, though.
Fucking love that. It's so good though. Like
It still
with
doesn't make
Alex.
sense to me.
Yeah, I know. It's the point. It's like,
Ah,
what does the bistro handle like?
I don't know, but obviously
But when
not
I
like a
watched it,
steakhouse.
but when I watched it with Alex, like again, I pissed myself laughing, and she was like,
I
"That's not
don't get
funny,"
it.
and I was like, "Oh, are you fucking serious?"
She's like, I don't get it. Where's the funny?
When the un-Nazi'd the world.
Ah, cock. Un.
Isn't that when they?
UN.
Yeah, but they call them the un.
Because they can't. They're trying to be funny.
Yeah. I'm an electric car. I'm coming faster, very far.
Hey, that's what the electric cars are currently, so count
They do
yourself
go
lucky.
fast and quite far.
Oh, cock. No, they don't. They don't go that far, though, is my main concern with electric cars. What
They
if I want to
do.
travel across the country?
They do. Look.
Maybe if you use it intercity.
No. Look.
No, that's not.
I'm gonna show you. Wait, where's Australia?
Australia.
The Tesla Model 3 long range goes 602k kilometers on one charge.
But what if I want to go further than that?
All you gotta do is stop and charge for a little bit.
Ah, but you know, there's not that many charging points around.
Actually, Ampol's rolling them out at every service station.
I don't go to Empapol. Oh.
I go to 7-Eleven.
Do you know? How am I supposed to get a donut at the same time?
You're not.
Can't get that at Emberpole.
Anyway, I think I'm gonna jump off the computer.
Oh, but what about all the
Hi.
games that we're gonna play?
That-
Fallout.
Yeah, but then we'll be playing Fallout. Aaron's a bit late.
Did you didn't message him again, did you?
I thought you did.
No, I
He was
thought.
on Discord being like talky, and I was like, it's mighty quiet in this chat room.
Oh. Uh, yeah, look, to be fair, the only reason I didn't jump in because I was waiting for another friend to jump into party chat, but they didn't end up doing that, so I guess I'm just talking to myself. So I just jumped into Discord.
Well,
So
I just made a point of just jumping in whenever I'm on here in case anybody else is on doing stuff.
and it turns out no one is doing anything. I mean,
But they're also not on Discord.
you know, sometimes I wish I had like a multiple, like an easy way to control voice channels or something, or like
What do you mean?
if I want to have like a conversation with you, or like talk to someone else as well separately.
Be in both, but swap between them.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you then have to have two people? Yeah.
Yes. Well, to be fair, I could technically do
Oh, did I
that
leave
if
it
I
open?
like mute things.
About 10 minutes ago, before you came here.
Or the fire.
I'm sorry. I left the fridge door open.
Oh no! That's it. You have to gonna chuck everything out.
Yeah. Great.
Grape.
Grape! Grape success!
Wow, what was so good in the fridge?
I got a... I can't even remember what I got out of it. Oh, dog food.
Dog food.
Yeah.
You keep your dog food in a fridge?
Like, canned dog food.
You keep your canned dog food in a fridge?
Yeah, but we got big cans.
Do you have to refrigerate those? I just thought they
Once
just.
it's opened, yeah.
Oh, wait, you don't.
Because like a big can. So if you only use a quarter of it or half of it, you just gotta wrap the top of it and put it in the fridge after it's open. It's kind of like heat treated milk. Like it can sit in the cupboard as long as you need it to, and then once it's opened, it's going in the fridge.
Why don't you just get a smaller can?
Because the bigger cans are more cost effective. It's like $2 for a big can, or like I'm pretty sure most of the little cans are $2 as well. So
Cost
it's just
effective.
one of those things that cost less.
Or you just
Yeah.
put it in like a container.
Ruin a container.
Well, it's like just a dog container. Or you get the dog's food bowl and you just put Glad wrap over. I
Ugh.
don't know.
Dogs piss on their food bowls.
Why is your dog peeing on its food bowl?
Well, one dog pees on its food bowl, and that dog is not desexed.
I
And
don't see how that has to do with anything, but
so
what?
at our old house, there used to be possums in a tree that was right next to where their bowls would sit,
It
and
would
so we
do
had a
the
sneaking
possums.
suspicion that any food that was left, like any food that the dog didn't eat, we suspected that the possums would come down and take.
But
And
they
so
didn't.
he would pee on it to mark his territory because he wasn't desexed.
Ah, okay.
They do that if they're not desexed before a
Really?
certain age, then they pee on stuff to mark it. You didn't know that dogs pee on their
No,
stuff
I
to
knew
mark their
that, but I
territory?
didn't realize that there was a caveat to them not doing that. I just assumed that
Yeah,
was built in
so
and they always do that.
it's a learnt behavior based on progression through what is essentially dog puberty. So if you get them like our youngest dog, we got him desexed before he essentially went through what is the dog equivalent of puberty. And so he doesn't have that tendency to piss on stuff. He doesn't piss unless he needs to go to the bathroom, and he goes to the grass to do it. But our other dog, we just didn't get desexed, so he went through puberty and
Made
has
a
those
mess.
hormones that yeah. Like I was standing there the other night because I take the bowls in at night because I don't want because we live out of town, I don't want other animals to smell the food on the bowl and
That's
come
fair.
looking for food. So I take them inside, and I stand there and wait for them to finish eating, and then I take the bowls inside. And before I could even grab the bowl, he turned around and looked at me and cocked his leg and pissed all over the bowl.
But they
It's like,
still. Wait, the bowl had fruit in it, right?
no, the bowl had no
Yep.
food in it.
Okay. But, okay. I just like. They're gonna eat out of it again at some
But they're
point,
a dog.
right?
They don't
Yeah,
know.
I know.
Yeah,
They don't
they
think.
don't know. To them, that's normal, right? Like you pee on wherever your food appears, so that other animals don't come near you. But to me, I was like, I was gonna pick that bowl up, man, and now it's got piss all over it.
Can't you just leave it like that and just.
No, because I also suspect that the rats that we had under the house that are since dead,
From the pee.
yeah,
Wait, how'd you
were
kill? How are they dead?
potentially.
Oh, do you set up the.
I poisoned them.
Yep, that's right. I remember you mentioning something about the poison.
I had a sneaking suspicion that they were coming up to check the bowls
Of pee.
of the
Wouldn't
dogs.
wouldn't the
Well,
pee be a
because
deterrent then?
the pee's meant to be a deterrent, but I'm not sure if you're aware of how rats operate, and to an extent mice, but when they're scavenging for food, they're essentially just kind of like mindless zombies in a way. Like they get into what like it's I looked it all up, like it's legit based on research. They get into like a weird trance where when they get a hold of something they just continue to eat it. So they go on like a mad search, scavenge for food, and they're kind of in a trance while they're doing it, which is why very often rats and mice will go under a house, for example, and eat insulation and eat through wires and stuff, even though it doesn't taste nice. It's no nutritional value to them. It's probably not satiating them at all. It's probably making them feel unwell, but they still do it anyway because they get into like this weird trance when they go hunting for food.
But does that count as hunting if they're just going for insulation? I don't like. Why don't you just eat like a tree or why? What's so special
Well, because
about
it's just
stuff like
whatever's
that?
around wherever they've made their little burrow at that point.
Yeah, but I
Which is
feel.
why bait works so well. Well, if you get the right bait, why it works so well, because it doesn't matter how it makes them feel.
They'll eat it
if they
anyway.
if they know that they can come back and there will be more, which is why you're supposed to space them within a meter of each bait. They know that they can come back to that area, get more, and they'll just continue to eat it. And sometimes they even take it back to their nest, and all of the other mice eat it. And I found this out the other day. But when mice and rats die, very often the other mice and rats in their
We'll eat the
little
body.
den will eat the carcass, which now then contains poison. So
And then
then
it
they all end up getting
spreads.
poisoned.
It's just
Yeah,
like a cycle of death.
really weird.
I mean, look, if they're desperate, why not? A feast is a
Well, I
feast,
put
I
about
guess.
20 little bits of bait under the house, and they all disappeared. So that rat had a good time.
So what if it was just like the one rat and he ate all of the bait?
Well, he might not have eaten it all, but he definitely took it somewhere if it was just the one. I have a feeling that the other ones are potentially no longer there either if there was more than one, which I don't think there was, but if there was more than one, I think the others have left. Because what happens is when the poison is an what's called an anticoagulant.
Coagulant, yeah.
Yeah, that one, that thing.
Yes.
So it stops blood from coagulating, and the side effect of that is it makes them very thirsty. So they often leave to seek water, and then they go die. And that's when they die, because they leave to go seek water, and then they drink lots and lots of water, which causes the anticoagulant to do its job, and they die. So if you have a rat that dies in the wall or in the roof as a result of being poisoned, you're just really unlucky.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that the best way to do it? I feel like maybe a better way is just to trap them, unless, there's no risk of them getting stuck and then they live like a
I don't
smelly,
want to have to do the
rotting
killing myself, if
corpse.
that makes sense. It's like, I don't want to have to trap them and then be like, hey there, little rat, here's an axe.
Well, no, you get those, the ones that just, like, snap and do
They
the
don't
work.
work that well. Like, the rats and mice are really good at getting food off of them,
Oh, but you
not
just get
getting
a rat
snapped.
trap, one of those big ones.
Again, like I've been through this when I lived in Armadale. Like, it worked. There is one that I would use, and I was about to go and purchase it if this poison didn't work. So it's like this little box, and
They
it's
get trapped in
only
the box.
it's only big enough to fit about just past their head in, and the moment they enter the box, it's basically like a fucking guillotine on like
Ah,
a spring mechanism, and it just goes, it's fucking just severs their spinal cord as soon as they go into it. So there's no like going around the back to grab the bait. There's one way in, and as soon as they enter it, it just fucking snaps. And I was about to buy it, but then I found the dead rat. So yeah.
I mean, there's probably
There's
more
also
where that came
there's
from.
also another one that's similar, and it's again, it's like a tiny little box to enter in, and you buy these tiny, tiny, tiny little rubber bands. And when you open the box up, there's like this little mechanism that you put the bands in, and you wind it, and it basically stretches these bands out to bigger than a rat. And so they're under tension, and the moment they step in the box, it releases the tension straight away, and it goes straight around the neck and just fucking suffers, like just fucking dead.
Like a hanging, but not yeah. I guess
Like an
suffocation is more like
instant
a.
kind of, like, yeah, if you could just imagine like the tightest, thickest rubber band you've ever seen, going from full tension being like way out past your neck to just being released, like you'd probably snap your neck, but it would also like choke you. So
You just get like a really bad mark from the rubber band.
and there's another one that's similar, but it delivers a shock.
How many did you try? Jeez.
I didn't try, but I looked. Like I went
Research.
and
Yeah.
there was one that gives a pretty lethal shock as well, that would just kill them instantly when they go into it. And I was like, yeah, which one will I try? And I was in the process of like narrowing down which one I wanted, and then we found the dead rat.
And you're like, damn it, I ruined my plans to
Yeah,
trial
because
out.
Alex was like, these are really brutal. Are you sure you want to do them? And I was like, yep.
like get one of each and see which one does the
Well,
best.
that was what I was inclined to do, but yeah.
Were they
Because then I was like,
cheap?
at least I can dispose of the body if what's that?
It works. Are they? Is this stuff? I don't know how much are like these sorts of traps.
Look, like some of them were, some of them weren't. Like, and I think that the more reusable they were,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
more expensive they were. So like the one where it comes down and like guillotines them. Well, it's not really like a guillotine, but it would sever the spinal cord. Um, was like 30 something dollars, and then the electric zap one was like $50. The
Yeah.
ring one was a little less expensive because you had to go back and buy the rings separate, like it was their one-time
Sold
use, because you're not going
separately.
to sit there and pull it off the rat, obviously.
I mean, hey, look, if you're desperate enough.
So, yeah.
No, that's your wealth of knowledge about things and traps. Very specific. I feel like I would just go with just like a regular trap, but then I guess that's not as effective. I haven't really
No, the regular traps are a bit of a, like I said, they're hit and miss because, like, if the rat jumps on the thing and goes for the food and irritates it enough, then it will snap. But that comes down to how you load the trap, because those traditional wooden traps with the flippy thing that you've got to like put the thing over, if you load that and the pin is too far in, then it takes more to set the trap off, and if the pin's not far enough in, then it can set itself off. So it's like, yeah, it's really they're really
touchy with
touchy.
how it
And so
works.
you can actually get little trap boxes, like that are just like a cage, and they get set off when the rat enters, and then the cage door closes, and you can just release it or do what you please with the rat. But then I was like, I don't want to have to deal with a live rat.
I have heard of those. I was gonna be like, yeah, why don't you just get that and then you can
Well, then
go
I gotta kill it
far
myself.
away.
No,
No, I was
I
gonna
don't
say
want to
just
go
like take it somewhere and
run it
dispose
over.
of it.
No,
How you get
drown it.
just
Put it in a
leave
bag and
leave it in the box and then run over the box.
no, because like then I have to deal with a live rat, and I don't want to deal with a live rat. And I think the problem here is that like field mice and field rats off in the paddocks, like it would eventually probably make its way back to me or another house, which is not really solving the problem anyway. So,
But it would surely take some time to make its way back.
but like the other thing is, I don't know how far this thing has come to finally get to get to a place like my house. Like it could have come from like 3 fields over, for all I know.
Probably came from like Bob's house or Bill's house and they've caught it and then released it
Onto my property,
onto you. Yeah, like a back and forth.
onto my owner's property.
That's true. I forgot that you're not a property owner. My mistake.
I'm not Aaron, sorry.
I, my apologies. I mistaked you for a property owner.
I'm flattered.
Don't be. Hey, look. I mean, you could just buy like a shitty, very small, tiny property in the middle of nowhere or whatever.
Couldn't. I can't.
Can't or
I'm,
won't.
I'm, I'm flattered that you think I have enough money for a deposit,
Oh, I meant like overseas or somewhere.
like in
Technically, it still
Ethiopia.
counts. Yeah, right? I'm sure that's probably not expensive.
That's even more exploitive. Me with not enough money to buy housing here, buys housing over there, and then exploits their poor people for rent.
I mean, I feel
Gotta
like
start somewhere.
you wouldn't. I feel like the rent would be minuscule. I don't think it would be worth, to be honest.
Well, then why would you bother buying it?
Because you can afford. Because then you can say that you're a property owner. Yes, hello. I own a property. Don't ask me where it is. I just own it.